Okay, we'll start. Not sure how many people are online, but this will remain recorded in my YouTube channel where you can watch it later. We're gonna see what many of you seem to be struggling with, which is related to the setup of the training Google Labs domain. You can find it in the Google Groups. If you click here, go to this page with the steps you need to follow in order to register your G Suite domain. Purchasing a domain is simple. I assume none of you will have trouble with this. Particularly, I generally use GoDaddy because I'm familiar with the menu and the DNS. But I'm sure you can do this with a lot of different providers. Step number 2 seems to be the problem here, and that's where we're going to aim at how to create a subdomain and how to verify it. Basically, once you purchase your domain in GoDaddy, you will have, let's start from the scratch here. You'll have to, once you're logged in, you basically go to your name. Let's go to the main page. You click on your name and you go to manage my domains. And here you'll have all your domains. You click on the one you bought, you selected in order to get your GTrainer demo account. And here you'll have this menu. You might see it differently. Where do we change the setup? You will see it this way or this way. It's indifferent, but if you're confused because you don't see exactly the same screen, you can basically switch the view here. I'm going to use this one with a burger menu, basically, the list view. Like the list view if you want to follow step by step exactly. And you enter your domain. In my case, again, it's joaquin.com. With this is to, again, we're going to do a couple different things. The first one is to verify that we own this domain and we own the subdomain. And if we have a little bit of time, I'm going to show you how to set up as well the MX records for Gmail. Basically, once you get approved and you're sent the Google for Education domain, you'll have to modify the MX records in order for Gmail to work. The first thing we're going to do before going merging or going deep into GoDaddy is the way I do this and the way it's recommended is to create a Google site, the classic Google site. Most of you, I'm sure, know how to create one, but basically you need to go to sites.google.com, logged in with your Gmail account, and basically create a new site, a classic site. Most of you are probably familiar with this, but basically you select a blank, you select a name for your site and a site location that needs to be unique, and you show that you're not a robot. Once you do that, you're going to be landing in a Google site. In this particular case, this is mine, which already did some things for you to see, so it's not completely blank. But as you can see, this is the address that Google provides you for free for the Google site. And the idea is for you to be able to see your domain. And in this particular case, it's the domain along with a subdomain. But once you're in the Google site, there's a couple of things you need to do. If you go to the configuration and you go to manage site, there's particularly 2 options here that are important. The first one will have to do with verification. And there's different ways of verifying it. One of them, it's with a meta tag. And here in the general slot, if you go down, you have a Google Webmaster Tools. This is where you copy and paste your meta tag. And another menu is the web address. where once you have verified that you own this domain, you will be able to add the address of the domains you own here. Okay. One of the first things you need to do is, once you are on the Google site that you created, you own already this address. You must copy this address in the memory and just Google. We're going to search for Google tools. Search control is the same. I have this in Spanish, but basically most of you will have this blank because you've never done this before. But basically what you need to do is to create a new property here. And here's where you select if it's a website, and you copy and paste the name of the Google site that you created. Okay, you copy and paste the name of the Google site. As you can see below here, I already have it. And you'll be able, this is more like similar to Google Analytics. I'm going to do this again, although I already verified the site. I'm going to see if I can do this again. Let me see if it enables me to do that again or not. Already verified. But well, I'm not sure how I'm going to do this because I already verified this and I don't want to do it again. Let me see. Let me think. What I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new site. I'm going to start from scratch. It will be easier. So I'm going to create a new site from the very beginning. I'm going to put test configuration, Google for Education. I'm not a robot. And I'm going to create one. Sorry about the little bit of a mess, but I'm improvising here a little bit. Okay, so here we have the new site. We're going to do this from scratch. Again, I copy and paste the address of the site. I go to the Search Console. Go back to the initial page. I create a new property. Here I copy the name of the site. Very well. And one of the first things, what's this here? Okay. One of the first things that they're going to ask you is that you need to verify this. Okay. So you have the recommended method and alternative methods. Let's go to alternative method. And here I generally select HTML tag or meta tag. Here it will basically give you the meta tag that you need to copy and paste into your new Google sites. So we're going to copy this. We're going to go back to the new site, go to the configuration and the manage site. In the general tab, we go down, and where it says Google Webmaster Tools meta tag, we simply copy it here. Okay, and we save it. Your changes have been saved. Perfect. Now we'll go back to the search control. This generally takes a while. It's not immediate. But in this particular screen, Once you've copied this meta tag into your website, you click on verify. Okay, it was immediate in this case. In this particular case, the website has been verified. And then you go back to the search control. The same, but instead of doing this with the address of the Google site, you create a new property. And here, in this particular case, I already have this verified, but here you verify the domain that you bought. In this case would be, in my case, joaquin.com. Okay, and you do exactly the same process. In this case, I won't be able to. Let me erase one and we'll do it again. I'm gonna delete this one. I'm gonna create it again. So I'm gonna use a different domain. I don't wanna mess the one I already set up for Google. So here I have a different domain that I'm gonna verify using GoDaddy. It's called bgoogle. So I created a new property for the Google site and a new property for the domain name. Okay, in this particular case, the domain name, it says here that it's already been verified, but basically what you select is the option to verify through the provider who bought, in this particular case would be GoDaddy, who sold you the domain. You simply come here, you select GoDaddy. It will, I don't have it this visually. I don't know how they're gonna, there's two particular ways to do it. You select GoDaddy and you click verify, and the Google Search Control or Webmaster tools will connect with GoDaddy, will ask you for your username and password from GoDaddy, and will take 60 seconds to verify that you actually own the domain that you are entering. If that fails, you have a different alternative. It's basically what states here, is to add a TXT file. Okay, if you add a TXT file, basically here it will tell you what steps you need to take. And you can see here that you have a text that you need to add. This is it's actually quite simple and self-explanatory, but I'm going to show you because here it seems that it's one of the problems people have. So basically what you need to do is now go back to the domains at GoDaddy. I'm going to switch domains because I'm using a different one now. I'm using bgoogle. In this particular screen, you go to the DNS zone file. And here you'll have different files. You have A files, CNAMEs, MX records, and TXT files. This is where you would need to create a new TXT file. The way to do this, if you go higher up, you click on add a record. Like, what type of record do you want? I want a TXT type of file. The host, it's the @. And the TXT value is the one we got from the Search Console. So we copy this and we paste it here. And you hit finish. And always remember to save the changes. In this particular case, okay, I already added it, so it gave me exactly the same TXT file. It won't be allowed to have twice the same TXT value. But you could see it down here because I already done this before. You should see a TXT with the @ under the host column and the text that the Google Search Console gave you over here. Once you've done this, you simply go back to the Search Control, and again you hit verify at the bottom, and your domain will now be verified. Continue. In order to redirect that domain that you bought to your Google site, you go back. Let's go back again so you understand very well where I'm at. You go back to the site that you created, that it's blank. You go to Manage Sites again. You go to the tab where it says Web Address. And here it will allow you to enter the domain that you bought. In this particular case, would be Google. You add this. Because you have already verified that you own this domain, be accepted and appear here. Okay? Okay, so now we already have the domain and the Google site working together. But we've done very little regarding the GoDaddy setup. Okay? Now, if we go to the domain details, again, this is all pointing correctly because I've already done this before. But there's a couple ways you can do this. Actually, let's see. I'm going to start again from scratch. Okay. When you go back to your domain, one of the things that you'll see in the CNAME alias, you will see the www. In this particular case, if you edit this record, if you've never done this before, you will see an @ sign, very likely. Okay, that @ sign you need to change for ghsgoogle.com and save it. In my particular case, I already have it, but basically you save it and the GHS should appear here. And now we're going to create the subdomain. The subdomain, you need to add a new record. You go to the CNAME alias. The host, it's the gtrainer demo that you want to create. This is the name of the subdomain. And this needs to be pointing to, again, ghs.google.com. So now you have, actually, the www is a subdomain. And now you have another subdomain that's gtrainerdemo.com. Okay? Once you've done this, you can actually do also the forwarding. You need to save the changes. If you go back to the settings section, under forwarding, you need to click Manage. And here you need to create a forwarding. It should look like this. Basically, you type the HTTP. You select this as a normal HTTP and not HTTPS. And here you write the domain that you own or you bought, and you click Save. So here you'll be forwarding this. The subdomain, I've done this as well, but you don't need to because the subdomain's already been created in the DNS. But basically, I'm forwarding the gtrainer subdomain to my Google site. You can do this or not. And okay, here, so now everything, although it looks complex, it's already set up in GoDaddy. The next step will be now to follow step 3. Now you need to register the domain that you own, that you bought with Google. In this particular case, we don't need to register, or here the explanation is quite clear. You don't need to register your domain.com, but you need to register the gtrainerdemo.your domain.com. basically now you need to follow of course, name, last name, your current email, not the one from your new domain, name of the institution, this is not mandatory, etc., etc. And when you reach the second page, you'll be asked for what domain do you want to register as a Google domain, Google for Education domain. That's where you enter gtrainerdemo.yourdomain.com. You create your username, your password, etc. You do that. A few minutes later, you will receive an email in your inbox. Let me see. Find it here. Actually, have it in a different account. I'm going to show you what the email looks like. But basically, from that moment on, the moment you register gtrainerdemo.yourdomain.com, you have a 30-day trial for education account. Okay, during those 30 days, basically, Google will decide if they upgrade your domain to a Google certified trainer domain. After 30 days, you will have to pay for it. And in this particular case, it's just time that Google takes in order to make all the verifications. They're not going to charge you. They're either gonna or decline the upgrade, and the domain will disappear after 30 days, and you'll have to start again the process. But I want to show you. It's a little bit slow. I'm going to show you what the email looks like. Where do I have it? Certifications, under certifications. Here you go. So this is the email I received. And I registered my gtrainerdemo.joaquin.com domain with Google. And this is another one I received, giving me the welcome to the Google Suite for Education 30-day trial, basically. What you will have to do when you fill in this form, where is it? And you fill in this form, not on this page, but on the next one, you will decide what username you want and what password do you want. The moment you receive the email, it means that you already started having that Google Suite for Education domain. And what you need to do is, logically, you need to open a new Chrome tab and log in into your new account, like you normally do with any Google account that you have. You go to google.com or mail.google.com, and it will ask you for your username and your password that you previously mentioned on the form. Once you log in into your email, you simply have to go either you open a new tab, admin, you type admin.google.com, that's an option, or from your Gmail, you go to the configuration setting, manage this domain. This will take you to the admin panel as well. Okay, it will ask you, of course, for your username and the password that you signed in with, or that you filled the form with. And the first thing you'll be asked to do is to verify this domain with Google from within the admin panel. I've already done this, so I cannot show this to you, but it's very similar to the processes that we went through before to verify the Google site and the domain within the Google Search Console. So it's exactly the same thing. As you can see here, I'm only missing setting up the email, but I already verified the domain. It's very simple. It will be something very, very similar to what we've done here. Well, I don't have it on screen now. Let me create a fake domain and show you. Let's go back to Google search. This type of screen you will see. It will tell you right there either if you need to connect with GoDaddy or generate a TXT record or a CNAME record. So basically, it's the same procedure. It will tell you what type of record. You go back to GoDaddy, in a zone file, you create a new record that the admin panel is requesting you to create. I can't remember really now if it was a CNAME or a TXT. I think it was a TXT. So here you select the type of record that you want. And the host, if I'm not incorrect, it's ANAT. And here you'll create the TXT values that it provides you on the admin panel. The idea is for all of this, the verifications are instant. Other changes that you do in the DNS file of within GoDaddy might take a couple of hours to apply. What you're looking to do is also one of the ways you know that this is working well is if you type, instead of typing the Google site name, you type your subdomain.yourdomain.com, redirected to your Google site. Okay, the same with your domain by itself, or www.yourdomain. Okay, you should be visiting your Google site. Within the admin panel, you'll then have not only to verify your domain, but it will also ask you to do other setups. It's actually quite simple. You basically need to follow the setup wizard. I don't know why this is so slow. This is a setup wizard. This is one of the first screens that will pop up when you go in automatically for the first time into your admin panel. This is where you have to verify the domain, etc. But one of the things that we'll ask you to do is to direct the email services to the Google servers. That is done as well from the GoDaddy. Where do we have this? From GoDaddy. As you will see here, where do I have mine? I haven't done this for BigGoogly, but I'll show you the ones in my other domain, which has already been done. We go to the DNS zone file. And you'll see the MX mail exchange records. This is all given in the setup wizard. But if you can't find it in the setup wizard, you simply search for Gmail. And here you'll find configuring your MX records and the domain host. And here we will tell you exactly all the MX records that you need to create. Just two columns, priority and mail server. So basically, the only thing that you need to do is remember, okay, priority 1, Control C, you go to GoDaddy, you add a record. When you create a record, It's not a CNAME, it's not a TXT, MX record. So you go here, click MX Exchange. The host, it's at .2. Server and priority in this particular case was 1. I already have this added, so I'm not going to do it again. But you need to create 5 different MX records following the information that we found. After you created this 5 MX records, again, it might take a couple of hours, but you go back to the domain, to the admin panel, and you click that you've routed the MX records to the Google servers, and you hit next. Well, in this particular case, for some reason, they're not being found, but I know I've done it correctly. And the reason I know I've done it correctly is because my working. I can send emails from here already that I wouldn't be able to send or receive emails if I haven't done it correctly. I'm not sure why the admin console is saying that they're not being found. But well, that's basically what you need to do. I'm still waiting for Google to upgrade my GTrainer demo account. Instead of it's already on the trial version, but I've done this yesterday or the day before, and I've done this several times before with normal domains and setting up Google for Education domains for schools. So this shouldn't be a problem. I don't expect any trouble here. I hope this helped a little bit. It's fairly simple. Again, I don't have a lot more time, but if you need assistance, post it on the Google groups for new trainers, and I'll try to help, or we can schedule like a one-on-one hangout or a group hangout instead of a hangout on a YouTube live event. We can do a normal hangout where we can interact, and maybe you can show your screen and I can detect where something went wrong or something like that. But again, a very good measurement if you're doing things right, the verification will be accepted, but also that you'll be able to see your domain in your Google site, not just the free web address that Google gives you, but over here see that your domain it's working correctly. Well, I hope this helped, and well, congratulations again to everybody for being appointed a Google certified trainer. Well, good luck.